Many people believe that if you take on more work and or work harder at your job, you will be the one to get the raises and promotions. But the truth is that those people don't get prioritized for raises or promotions. They actually get stuck doing everyone else's work and aren't able to advance. The truth is that those who focus on less but then go all in on a few priorities are the ones who get ahead. This is easily proven by looking at the following diagram. When you have too many things to do, you don't get very far with any of them. But if you only have a few things to do, you get very far with them. For example, if you had 10 different projects you were working on, you would only be able to make small amounts of progress on them. And even then, with so much on your plate, you would have to take extra time just to stay organized. Furthermore, you would most likely try and multitask to keep up with the demand. But as we know, multitasking has been found to decrease productivity by up to 40%. It ends up working like traffic on a freeway. The more you try to maximize, the more full the road gets, and the slower the cars go. But if you limit the amount of cars on the road, those cars get where they need to go extremely fast. This raises the question, if this principle is true, why isn't widely adapted? It is because it only works if you do both parts. Do less, then obsess. Most people do the first part, do less, but they don't go all in on what they are prioritizing, the second part, then obsess. Doing less will increase your productivity, yes, but obsessing over the few focus areas you have chosen will be what gets you those promotions and those raises. So how do you take this strategy of do less then obsess and apply it practically to your work? Here are 3 strategies. The first is to review your tasks and responsibilities and do as few as you can and as many as you must. Perfection is not when you can't add anything else, but when you can't take away anything else. Do as few tasks as you can and as many as you must, and apply this principle into as few areas as possible in order to get your arrow as far as possible. The second way of applying this principle is to set up your environment for success. Part of doing as few as you can and as many as you must is being indistractable. It is about being laser focused on your chosen areas or on the task at hand. If you need to close out email, do it. If you need to set up a fake meeting that only you attend so no one messages you, do it. If you need to put up a sign in the office that politely asks people to not distract you for the next hour, do it. Change your environment to remove distractions and improve your focus so you can indeed focus on the areas or area that you have selected. The third method of applying this principle is dealing with your boss. Your boss will most likely be the one to pass on more work to you. You will need to explain to them that if you take on more than you are already doing, your productivity and quality will suffer. Some negotiating or debating might need to take place, but the path to greatness isn't always pleasing your boss. It's maximizing your output, and by maximizing your output, you make them look great in the process. And don't be afraid to give them some credit so that they leave you to your own strategies. They did, after all, give that extra work to someone else, which freed you to focus on your key areas. The bottom line is by applying intense effort in a few choice areas instead of mediocre effort in many different areas reduces your workload and maximize your value, which is what nets you promotions and raises. So how do you choose key area or areas? Well, what are your strengths? And within those strengths, what has the most impact or adds the most value to your department or team? Focus there. There are 2 situations where you don't want to apply this strategy. 1, when you are generating new ideas, and 2, when you know your options but don't know which one to choose. Be mindful when focusing increases productivity and also when it decreases productivity. If you are trying to select between 2 viable options but don't know which one will be better, you might want to be more flexible rather than focusing too hard on one and completely ignoring the other. So in the end, if you want to get more done at work by working less and getting paid and rewarded for it, apply the principle of doing less and then obsess, and your work life will dramatically increase for the better. If you don't make enough money at work and you want to fast track your career success without a college degree, then check out the link down below. It will give you access to my courses and resources for free, and those courses and resources will give you the information and the tools you need to fast track your career success so you can quickly gain promotions and raises at work.